What's up, guys? It is your boy Fast Lane D. Okay, this is part 2 of the sport bike versus cruiser video. So you haven't gone and watched the first part where I talked about why I love sport bikes more, make sure you go back and watch that one. Then come watch this one on why I love my cruiser more. So here is the V-Rod muscle, the Harley Davidson, baby. We did just hop off the R1. So we'll be taking the Harley out next. First thing I do love about this bike is the keyless entry. All right, so you do have this little key fob. Let's see if we can get the focus. And we got the focus. So it's gonna be the key fob. It doesn't actually have a key. All you do is it will sense that you have the key on you, which is really, really cool. And then you go ahead and turn this knob to ignition. And you hear start. All right, let's get a cold start here. How she sounds. Press the start button. Wow, that's embarrassing. All right, now that she's in neutral, we'll go ahead and start her. That sounds phenomenal. Yeah, baby. With the integrated turn signals. All right, let's go ahead and hop on the Harley. Goodbye, my baby. Goodbye, Storm. The beautiful R1. I love you. I'll see you later. Woo! Woo! I'm gonna start this off by saying, trying to compare a cruiser and a sport bike is like you comparing a Rolls Royce and a Lamborghini Aventador. They're two completely different beasts. These cruisers are built for comfort. Now, don't get me wrong. Boom, there's 100. This bike is not slow. It has lots of torque, so it makes it perfect for riding and commuting around the city. And the comfort's more geared towards longer rides. Like if I wanted to do a road trip, this is the bike I'm gonna take. I love the R1, but that baby is definitely sitting in the garage for a road trip. Cruisers are sexy to me in a much different way. It's kind of like a muscle car and then you have an import car. Cruisers are a lot bigger. They're not as agile in the turns. So like if I took this up to the mountains, yeah, you could still ride it up there, but it wouldn't be as much fun to me because I know what a sport bike feels like and how those are made to be in that kind of environment. Cruisers can still be fast, but not in a quick way around corners like sport bikes are. It's more so just brute power, brute torque, not top end speed, but more so on the bottom end, which kind of makes it a lot more fun around town. I'm not gonna lie, for commuting purposes or just riding around the city, like if I'm going to get groceries or if I'm going to just a friend's place or if I'm going out, I tend to grab the keys to this bad boy a lot more. And that doesn't make this bike better than the R1. It just has a completely different purpose to where the way that I ride, this bike suits those purposes a lot better than the R1 tends to. Like there's no need for me to get my adrenaline pumping as I ride to Kroger to go pick up milk and eggs, or as I'm just commuting to work in the morning where there's a bunch of traffic. What I also tell people is that it's so easy to be stupid on a sport bike and to be a hooligan. It's so fast, and unless you experienced it, you just don't, you'll never get it. It gets to 100 miles per hour, triple digit speeds like it's nothing. In the blink of an eye, you twist the throttle, shift in the first second, and you're there. You can still go quick on a cruiser, but you actually have a chance to kind of think about what you're doing. Like you don't just go 0 to 100 in a matter of 3 to 4 seconds on a cruiser. Like it takes a little more time, so you can kind of be like, okay, I'm being dumb, versus the sport bike gets there, and then at that point it's too late for you to be like, okay, let's not be dumb here. So you can catch yourself getting into more dangerous situations. Now, I haven't done too much work to this bike, but I'd assume it'd be a lot easier to work on than the R1 would, because there's a lot of fairings you'd have to take off to get to things, versus those sport bikes, sometimes there's just so many little itty bitty fairings and screws and nuts and bolts that you have to work around, which can be a pain in the ass. Now, as far as tires, for most cruisers, I'd assume that the tires aren't nearly as expensive as a sport bikes. But in my case, with the V-Rod Muscle, and you guys have seen that big fat 240 on the back, that's not a cheap tire. That's definitely a lot more expensive than my R1 tire. It's because it's so wide, but it looks so good. It's my baby. I do love the gas gauge on this bike as well. I think that's a neat little touch. Now, I kind of touched on this in the sport bike video, but to ensure this bike versus showing the R1 is more than double what I pay monthly for this, which the R1 is newer, but just ensuring any of those sport bikes is absolutely ridiculous just because they get wrecked so much and they're just so fast. Like, the fact that those are allowed on the streets just blows my mind, because it's basically like you have a race car on public roads. When people ask me which riding position I prefer, obviously this one's a lot more comfortable. It's like I'm sitting in a lazy boy at my house. My feet are forward, I'm upright, I'm not in any sort of aggressive position, so my back and knees really don't start to bother me at all when I ride, which is nice. So when people ask me which bike they should get or which one they should start on, it's all just personal preference. Any motorcycle is a dope motorcycle. One is not better than the other. It just depends on what suits your needs more. Are you looking to go out with your buddies and be stupid on the streets or on the track, or do some mountain ridings with some twisties? Or are you looking for something just to commute back and forth to work on and be comfortable with and do road trips? Like, say you want to travel cross country or something like that, then the Cruiser's right for you. If the other way was your answer, if you like to race and be stupid, then get the sport bike. Also, last thing, I'd recommend is sitting on them. I'm kind of sitting on both and see which one you're more comfortable on. Can you handle the ergonomics of the sport bike? Do you enjoy the riding position of the Cruiser? I do tend to get a little bit better gas mileage on the V-Rod, but you gotta remember, I own a 1000cc motorcycle. Like, to be complaining about the gas mileage is a little ridiculous. That's not what that bike is for. But maybe if you owned a 500 or a 600 or 300 or 750, it might be comparable or even the same. Anyways, comment down below, what do you guys prefer? Do you like the sport bike or do you like the Harley more? You can't go wrong with either, honestly. As long as you sit on them and do your due diligence, you will be happy with whatever you choose. I'm lucky to own both because I get to experience the benefits of both, which is really cool. And kids also love the motorcycle. Even if I'm on the Harley or the R1, they both get attention. They're both attention getters. They just draw different types of people. They always have the coolest cars over here. That's all I got for you guys. I'll catch y'all in the comment section below. Fast Lane D is checking out. Peace. I forgot to mention my favorite thing about this bike. The Hulk. The reason why she's called Ivy right here is those green lights. That just looks so cool. I don't care who you are. That's just a nice little touch to where it's enough, but not too much.